Hey guys, it's Brandon Miniman from Pocketnow.com, and in this video we're going to compare the home screen interfaces of the 4 operating systems that are out there right now for mobile devices. So we have WebOS running on the Palm Pre Plus on Verizon. We have the Google Nexus One here running on Android 2.1, Windows Mobile 6.5.3 on the Htc Hd2, and of course iOS here on the iPhone 3GS. So we're going to step through all of these devices and talk about the philosophy behind all of these home screen interfaces and try to determine which one makes the most sense, although of course in the end it's very subjective which one works the best for you. So let's clear away these devices and start with the iPhone. As we know by now, the iPhone is a very simple interface, and that is Bella. We can slide to the right to unlock, and then we are presented with icons and more icons and more icons. And of course, you can move the icons around on the screen. You can add internet shortcuts here. You cannot add a shortcut to dial somebody quickly, which is kind of annoying. Apple obviously believes that you should be going into programs to do anything on your device. So you can't see quickly your next appointment or go preview your email or anything like that. Everything requires another step to get into the application. Of course, you can jailbreak your iPhone. You can get a lot of information, such as weather or next appointment or a quick look into your email right on your home screen. But of course, that voids your warranty, and not many people want to jailbreak. It's very likely that we're going to see a refresh to the home screen interface of the iPhone coming up in version 4.0 of the operating system. But for now, it's very application-based, and that's it. Let's go to the Htc Hd2, which takes an entirely different approach. HTC believes that you should be able to access the important data of your phone right from the home screen. So they've created sort of mini applications all along the home screen. So you get your favorite people here. You have your messages, your email. I don't have that set up. A panel for internet favorites, and you can search Google right from here. And then they have a new one here for reading books. So this really prevents you from having to go into the Start menu to launch any programs. It's a very interesting way of presenting the interface. The problem that I've always had with HTC Sense, or TouchFlow 3D as they call it, is that it requires a lot of finger travel. So if I want to get over to, say, the reader panel, I have to look down here and be very precise and land right on the little reader icon. It's not always so easy to kind of do that without looking. Well, it's impossible to do that without looking. So most of the time I spend here on the home screen, I like to add my favorite programs right to this area so that I don't have to be scrolling back and forth to access different things. But a very unique interface from HTC Sense where you don't have to drill into applications to check your email, dial your favorite people, look at your photos, listen to your music, check your calendar. It's really all right here, and it's really an interesting way to sort of organize the home screen. Let's take a look at the Google Nexus One, which is sort of a combination between the iPhone and the Hd2. So I'm going to unlock the screen here. Now with Android devices and the Nexus One here, we have multiple home screen interfaces, kind of like the Hd2, although this is a lot more customizable. And we can have up to 2 on the right and 2 on the left, 1 in the middle. So 5 home screens where we can add a variety of widgets that allow you to see the weather and tap into Facebook and see your calendar. So it's a very customizable interface, and you can jump from screen to screen by tapping and holding down here on these dots. And then, sometimes this doesn't work, and then it gives you a little preview of all of the home screens that you have so you can quickly jump over to the right and to the left. We're hearing that the next version of some Android devices is actually going to have a pinch functionality, multi-touch on the home screen that will allow you to zoom out and see all of your home screens sort of in one view. Now, the cool thing about the Android home screen here is that you can add links to call people, you can add links to programs, add links to internet shortcuts, you can have a variety of widgets as we just saw, a quick way to access your communications manager, a Twitter widget. A lot of programs out there that you can get in the Android application market actually have an associated widget. So if you really want to experience a program more, you can place its respective widget onto your home screen and be able to access it that way. So very customizable Android interface that kind of merges the iconic-based system of the iPhone with the ability to access various program functions and see your data without having to drill into applications like found on the Hd2. Now let's take a look at the Palm Pre Plus, which of course is running WebOS software. So we can slide to unlock here. So I'd say that the WebOS operating system is closer to the iPhone than anything in terms of the amount of information you get on the screen. You really don't get any information. You can customize 4 of these buttons down here. The way you do that is by tapping and dragging, by opening up the program tray, and then you can slide down another application, but you only get 5 applications on the screen at one time. And of course you can access these at any time when you're in an application by tapping and gesturing upwards, which is a nice touch. But again, when you're in your home screen, you get to see nothing but the open applications and sort of 4 programs that you can launch. It's a little bit annoying because you can't see your next appointment or the weather. Again, like the iPhone, you have to continually go into various programs, but fortunately on the on WebOS you can have multiple programs open at one time. And so if you really like to see your weather, if you really like to see your email, you can just keep them open as cards and then access them by just tapping on them and opening them that way. And when you flick away all the cards, you are left with a nice picture and not much else really. So if I were to rate these home screen interfaces against one another, I would say that the most customizable is definitely on the Google Nexus One or Android in general. You can really add widgets and customize shortcuts and customize many different home screens to access the information that you need. In terms of eye candy, I definitely give it to the HTC Sense Interface on the Hd2. It elegantly brings forth data and information from various programs and your photo viewer and other forms of multimedia right on your home screen interface, which makes it a joy to use so you don't have to constantly dig into applications. In terms of multitasking, obviously WebOS is built around the premise of these cards that allows you to multitask. But in terms of usability, there's not much you can do with just 4 icons that you can change on the bottom of the WebOS interface. And finally, the iPhone is probably the most simple, the most basic, uncluttered way of experiencing a smartphone. You don't get any choice in how these things look on the screen. You can't add any data, but again, we're probably going to get a big update for the iPhone interface that moves past this just iconic-based interface in the near future. So that was just a quick comparison of the home screen interfaces of the 4 major smartphone operating systems. That's it for now.